Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha as always, and I hope that you guys are enjoying my videos, that you're enjoying all the different topics that I've been speaking about, and that you guys are learning from them, hopefully. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs have this incessant desire, obviously, to be alone and to be in solitude. A lot of their days, a lot of their time they want to spend on their own. I mean, this haven that I've created here, this tiny little room, it's extremely small, but it's like, I'm just so grateful that I have the space to be in. You know, just being by myself in this space makes me so happy that I can't even express to you how happy it makes me feel, right? I can't even say the words today. Anyways, so we love being alone. The basic tenet of it is that we like being alone. But obviously, you know, we are still human beings. We're still social creatures and we're still humans. So we need that kind of partnership or companionship or friendship or relationship. We're not completely an island. We can't just be on our own all the time, right? So we do need people around us, right? And that's when we kind of start looking into being in a relationship. As an INFJ, it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be alone for the rest of our life. I hope that's not the case, because there's a lot of INFJs out there who are in relationships and who are doing really, really well. But one of the things I do notice about the INFJs that message me that are in relationships is that they've kind of created a sort of compromise or a sort of relationship where the other party, whoever they might be, whatever their type might be, has understood that we need a lot of space, that them as an INFJ needs a lot of space and time to be on their own. It's interesting to me because I get a lot of interesting relationship ideas from it. A lot of different people have created a lot of different ways of being with people, which I find fascinating. I think it's so interesting that we can kind of come away from the traditional paradigms that says, you know, it has to be a heterosexual relationship and you have to spend all your time together and you have to do everything together and you have to have kids and then you have to have a house and retire and do all that stuff, right? Like, I mean, that's a traditional paradigm. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for everyone, obviously, right? So a lot of INFJs have actually started creating their own paradigms, their own ways of living. Not only INFJs, but a lot of different types of people do that all over the place. This channel is specifically about INFJs, so I'm going to just focus on us in this video. And some of the things that people tell me, some of the things that INFJs have told me, the way they've created their compromise is first of all, having a separate apartment. So perhaps that's not possible for you guys if you live in a place that's really, really expensive, or if it's not possible for you to have two homes, maybe. But for some people, for some INFJs, it was a possibility. And one of them messaged me saying that actually, she said her friend's an INFJ and she has a house in the country and the husband has an apartment in the city, and they meet each other often, but they do have their separate spaces. I thought that was really, really great because I always imagined that if I was in a relationship ever again, that I would love to have a situation like that where I have my own apartment. It doesn't matter if it's humongous or it doesn't matter if it's a mansion. I just need a little space like this. And if I just had my own space to go back to it, every single time I feel like overwhelmed, or I feel like, oh my God, I can't be in this relationship anymore, or I feel like I need my own space and time, if I could just have a space to go to and just hide for a few days, for a few hours, whatever it might be, then I think that would be ideal. That would give me the space and time to be myself and still be in a relationship, still have that possibility of being with someone else in a partnership or a relationship, whatever you want to call it. Some of the other ways that I have had INFJs compromise on this thing is that they've dated only introverts. And that actually works out really well sometimes for an INFJ, because if you're with an introvert, they're basically doing the same thing as you anyways, right? They need a lot of time alone as well. If you're dating an INTJ, they need a lot more alone time than we do. So they're spending time on their own doing their thing, you're spending time on your own doing your thing, and when you get together, you're basically spending a lot of time in silence, reading your books, watching animes, whatever you might be doing. And so that means that you've had the right kind of space and the right kind of solitude mingled in with the right kind of partnership, the right kind of relationship. And that's ideal, right? I mean, that's what all of us as INFJs are looking for. So the reason I wanted to kind of mention this, I mean, these are just 2 examples. Obviously, there's 100,000, I'm sure, a million different permutations and combinations in which you can create your own relationship where you can be with someone else and still have your own solitude and your own space and all that, and still maybe perhaps even have children. I know a lot of INFJs who message me have children, and they're doing really well. They're still thriving and still able to have their own alone time, able to do whatever they need to do in order to be a healthy INFJ. Now, as I said, the reason I'm doing this video is because I wanted to remind you guys of the fact, and perhaps remind myself of the fact, that it is possible to be in a relationship even though you're an INFJ. It's funny to me because a lot of you guys message me saying this, that, you know, I don't think it's possible for me to be in a relationship. I'm an INFJ. Do you think it's possible? And it's funny because I'm like, I'm always trying to console people and saying, no, you can do it, you go for it, you can be in a relationship. Meanwhile, in my own head, I'm thinking, I don't think I can ever be in a relationship. So really, I'm not a good, obviously not a good role model for this. But I do believe that I might just be an exception only because I like traveling a lot and I'm a digital nomad, so I'm always moving around. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not in a relationship. It's not because I don't want to be in one, although I do sometimes feel like that would just hinder me in some ways. But the reason I don't want to be in one, or I'm not able to get into one, is because I'm always moving from place to place. So it's really, really hard for me to even start dating someone because I know that in a couple of months I'll be leaving again. And how's that going to work out, right? They're not going to travel with me all over the world, probably. So that's always like a thing in my head. So that's the only reason I haven't gotten into a relationship. That's just my own thing, right? But I do believe, I absolutely believe that every INFJ, every person on this planet, I feel like it's interesting when you walk through the world and you see all these different couples together, and sometimes you think to yourself, oh my God, how did they even get together? And that's what I love about this world, is that, you know, we live in a world where there is someone out there for you, exactly perfectly for you, kind of thing, right? I mean, there might be this person who's really, 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 really tall, and they're with this really, really, really tiny girl, and you think to yourself, that's interesting. But that's what it is. That person, they're perfect for each other. That's what they wanted from each other, and they're together, and obviously they're in a relationship. And I always think of it that way. There's always someone out there for you that's the perfect match for you, that's going to give you exactly all of the different things that you need from that relationship that you want, right? There's always someone out there for you like that. I mean, I know the process of searching for someone like that is a little bit tumultuous and a little bit strenuous at times, and if you don't have the energy for it, if you don't even have the energy to live your life, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to go out and search for someone else. You're thinking to yourself, I barely have enough time to do all the things I need to do. Am I going to add a relationship into the mix as well? Seriously? But if you are the kind of person as an INFJ who is really interested in being in a relationship, in a partnership, I did want to do this video in order to console you, obviously, and tell you that it is possible, absolutely, absolutely possible for an INFJ to be in a relationship. But also, I don't think you need to look at it as being in a traditional kind of relationship. I think that is something that we should kind of step away from. I don't think it's possible for us to be in a completely traditional relationship. It's because there's so many different ways we look at things very differently, right? And we're looking at everything differently. It doesn't make sense that we're gonna end up in a traditional relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing everything differently and everything uniquely, it doesn't make any sense that you do a traditional kind of relationship. And so I recommend to you guys, as your own, judge, as your own character judge, you know yourself best. And so look at yourself and figure out, what exactly do you need from a partnership? Why are you even looking for a relationship? Because, I mean, it is easy enough for us as an INFJ. We can be alone for a long period of time. So it's easy enough for us to be alone. Why are you specifically looking for someone to be in a relationship? What is it that you're looking for? What are the different things that you're searching for in your partner? It can't just be sex, because we're all demisexuals. So we really do fall more for the mind than the physical body. We have high sex drives, obviously, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't think we search for a partnership just for the point of sex. It's easy for us to charm someone into having sex with us. So why are you searching for a relationship? What's your need? What is your criteria for it? Why exactly do you need to be in a relationship? That's something that I feel like it's a really important question to answer. Why? What is that person going to do for you that you can't do on your own? Obviously, there is something, right? I mean, we can't just be on our own all the time. It would be nice if we could, but it's not It's not possible. We're not islands. We need people around us. We're social creatures. Human beings get married and do all that stuff because they want people around them. They want a family. They want kids. They do all that. So what is it exactly that you're looking for, right? And so once you figure that out, that's when you can start creating your own relationship paradigm, your own unique structure that will work specifically for you. There are so many different ways of creating a family. It doesn't necessarily have, as I said, have to be a traditional family with two parents, two heterosexual parents and one child, or two and a half kids and a dog. I mean, who has that kind of structure anyways anymore, right? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm just saying that, think about your own characteristics and think about what kind of paradigm, what kind of relationship paradigm or marriage paradigm would work for you, and then go about creating it for yourself, right? I mean, if an INFJ can get married and live in two different places and still be married happily, then I mean, you guys can figure it out for yourself as well, right? There's a lot of different ways of doing this. I feel like there's always the first step to everything, no matter what it is always self-knowledge. You need to figure out, what do you need? Who are you, first of all? What do you need? And then from there, you can start building the paradigm that's going to make you happy. And so I hope this helps. I hope that I've been able to kind of give you a little bit of guidance on how to start. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. There are a lot of interesting INFJs in the community itself who are married and who have a lot of good things to say about relationships. So you can definitely message them and ask them about it. They're always commenting about their kids and about their husbands and things like that. So, you'll catch them very quickly. And message them and ask them, how do they do it? Because I think it's really important to learn from the people who are doing it successfully. That's why masterminds exist, or that's why we read books. We want to learn from the experts. So that's what I recommend to you guys as well. Again, please message me anytime you guys have any questions. All my information to contact me is in the description below. And if you guys have any comments, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I read every single comment. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being on my podcast or my channel, wherever you are listening to me or watching me. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.